Good afternoon. Happy Thursday, May 7th, 2020. Welcome to another edition, our ninth one, Tim, of What's the Deal?
Who would have known we'd make it to number 9?
I kind of wish we were back out on the road, but we're going to keep doing these as long as we're stuck in quarantine. Today is a special one. If you've seen previous shows, we talk a lot about the system, ways to sharpen the axe. We did a market alert a couple weeks ago with our Executive Vice President, Mike Cavanaugh. He went through our first market alert. So we thought we'd take the time today to go through the second iteration of that and some new data that we see, share some insights with you. So Tim, this is going to be a good one. I say
yeah, it might be a little bit longer than we normally run, but I think it'll be well worth it. There's some good information to share here. Totally, right?
100%. So let's dive into it. Just a reminder, if you have a question during the presentation, just go ahead on the little pop-up in the GoToMeeting. There's a question tab. Go ahead and type your question in there, and we'll be monitoring that throughout the presentation. So COVID-19 impact number 2. So what we're really looking at here, and if you saw Mike's webinar, if you did this with us, Tim, I've done 4 or 5 of these. I know you've done a bunch, with your groups as well. We talked previously about this perfect storm, emerging, and it really, looks at a couple different things. So Tim, if you go to the next slide, we're looking at that damaged consumer confidence, the record off-lease supply, 4.1 million this year alone, 1.8 in the summer months. Not to mention, Tim, we were talking about this earlier. I'm also hearing, there's 2 other things that we need to be cognizant of. Not only the record off-lease supply, but there's a ton of rental cars that are hitting the market right now. I was talking to a group in Boston, and they were speaking about, the enterprise cars that are out there and the Hertz cars. I did a search yesterday. There's more than 40,000 Hertz automobiles for sale, about 10,000 for enterprise across the country. And you have the stagnant inventory that's at the auctions right now. We all know, the no sale rates are huge. There's a lot of cars that the Boston auto auction for Manheim can only hold 13,000 cars. They have 11,000 right now, is what I heard this morning. So, capacity is getting big. Are you hearing the same thing?
Yeah, I think all 3 of these, issues as a result of COVID-19 are kind of setting themselves up. I think we're seeing, at least I'm hearing a lot of optimism right now. I just read an article, car dealers by nature are very optimistic. I mean, we're going to fight through this, and I would agree wholeheartedly. But I think we have an obligation as an inventory management system, as a tool for our customers and anybody out there to share with them, what we know, what we see, and how does, help you guys navigate through it. I'm using the analogy, hey man, this is a 12-lane highway. We're gonna try and put some lines out here for you and get you through this, right?
100%. Yeah. And the last thing that's kind of converging, putting all this stuff together is, the new car incentives. We talked about that early on. We talked about that in a couple different episodes. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, I think in the short term, right, we're talking the next 45 to 90 days to jumpstart this thing. I think we're going to see some significant new car incentives. I don't know if this idea of new car incentives through the rest of 2020 and into 2021. We will see some inventory issues, but that's later down the road, end of 3rd and even to the 4th quarter. So incentives are going to play a part here in the short term.
Agreed. So let's move on. So the last perfect storm that we did was more about what we think's going to happen, what the experts are seeing. We have some data now behind this, so we're going to share that with you. So what you're looking at here is the price changes from March 1st to May 1st. So nationally, the drop in prices online, it was only a 3% drop, where wholesale values dropped about 12%. So what we want to show you here, Tim, if you can go to the next slide. Based upon some industry experts, J.D. Power, Black Book, so a lot of the stuff that we're reading and some of the stuff that we've learned from the past is we're really looking at a possible three-tier scenario. So you have, sorry, my screen just went blank. So you have the moderate around 12% where JD Power's kind of hovering at. You have the a moderate, which is 17%. So Black Book just changed from a 13% analysis to a 17%, and they even threw in a severe of 25%, and they're anticipating that in July. So
yeah, so this is a drop in retail values from the baseline of March 1st, right?
Yeah.
So no matter where you fall in line on this, the effects of COVID-19 on the auto industry, mild, moderate, or severe, this is how we see it playing out. I mean, I think there's a lot of different things, and it'll be by segment, it'll be by region, but I think that this is the consensus to the three the possible scenarios.
Yeah, I'm already seeing cars that have hit the severe, your late model luxury brands.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those cars are taking huge hits right now. But the thing that we want to emphasize here is, Tim, if you go forward, we talked about trade-ins a couple weeks ago. What's a trade worth right now? Do we trust the books? Do we trust the auction values? Be cautious of that overpayment zone, because there is such a discrepancy. We haven't hit that plateau yet to where retail prices are going. So, if you're buying deals, if you're stepping up on trades, just be aware that the market's going down as far as a retail standpoint. So you want to make sure that you're in the trade right. So we're still saying that retail out zone is, May through the end of June. And we talked about that. Like, if we have to take losses now, let's take a loss to a customer now versus trying to just hold steady and retail our way out of it in the later summer months, because we don't anticipate that the values will be there for you to do that. Tim, from what you're hearing from your customers, are people adhering to that, or are they?
Yeah,
mixed
I mean, it's pretty clear. If you took aggressive stance on some pricing, you sold cars. I know the second half of April for some pretty big groups and they've never sold that many cars in 15 days. So, there may even be some opportunities or some need to fill slots, as we kind of make our way to the bottom here. I mean, that's what I'm hearing, and those are good problems to have, because I think there will be deals to be had, but we just need to be careful.
Yeah, what a lot of our large groups are doing is, they're trying to shave off, as much capital as they can, and keep that dry powder. So when the market does level out and does hit the bottom, that's when you restock. So that's when you go out and you start making those winners. So if you lose $1,000 to a customer now on a short deal, you're going to make that up down the road when everybody else is trying to retail out when the market's dipped. You bought low, and then you can sell to make that money back. We gave that analysis last time.
Yeah. This is definitely, I've said this many times. We've even on this program here for all of our viewers, this is a day by day, week by week thing that we're watching unfold quickly. Continue to watch these analysis from NADA and JD Powers and Black Book and Cox Automotive, because this is just a prediction based on what we're hearing from the pundits, right? From experts in our own analysis.
Yeah. So when is it safe to start restocking? So let's kind of go through that. So you can see here those different zones, the moderate, the severe. So we really think, it's when the major off-lease, remember 4.1 million off-lease vehicles this year alone, 1.8 in the summer months, that's starting to back up. So when you start seeing, the OEMs start releasing those through the auctions, not only is there that bubble, but then there's also, all the inventory that's sitting stagnant right now, along with, the rental rockets that are going to start, hitting the auctions too. So we're going to keep monitoring this for you and keep sending out updates. We'll show you at the end of the webinar where you can see this inside of our system, inside of our website. So you can go in, and anything, we're going to be updating that in real time as we get more data. So Tim, let's transition to the report that we built that we've been sharing with dealers. So this is what we call the perfect storm analysis, and what this is looking at here is across the country. So this is a national view. The average. So this is looking at kind of a line in the sand on March 1st. Where were retail prices and where did they move to May 1st? So comparing those two, and this is ranked by the hardest hit all the way down to the ones that haven't been hit at all. So you can see nationally, we have a $29,000 average unit cost or average unit price, and that's changed by about almost that 3% that we talked about.
That's where we got that 3%.
Yeah. So what we've been doing is if you're a dealer and you want this report, we'll show you how to reach out to us at the end of this. And Tim, if you can go over the regions.
Yeah.
We've split this up between multiple regions and multiple geographic areas. So Southeast, Midwest, West, LA, all the big cities. So we can tailor this to where you're at and give you a couple different views. You can also look by brand. So if you're or I'm sorry, by year. So if we talked a lot about the 1 to 3 year old models. So if we wanted to, just look at that inventory, we could look at just the 18s, 19s, and 17s, and all the data will repopulate on the right-hand side of the screen. You can even dive into actual, brand specific down to model year. So if I'm a Chevy guy and I only want to look at my core inventory, we'll sort the inventory that way. So let's take a look at this. So this is a 2019 Chevy Volt, and you can see where it was priced on March 1st to where it was priced on May 1st, and that dollar amount of change, and then what it would look like during a mild, moderate, and severe, that 12, 17, 25% drop. So we're updating this data as it comes in. So please let us know if this is something that you want to look at. Tim, let's go back to all brands. We'll keep it at the 1 to 3 year old models. So what's the heaviest hit across the country?
No surprise here. The G class at $120,000. I think from a dollar perspective,
Yeah.
But I think the one that people might be. We've heard a lot. I've heard a lot about the Tesla, how it's taken a big hit, and here it is. Looks like mostly, look, your high-end stuff we've been talking about: Porsche, Mercedes, Aston Martin.
How far down do you have to go to get into a domestic, something that's not a big?
Let's see here.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, they got a lot of inventory here. So I think here's a Q70 X5s. The really cool thing, the way this is, so I've rolled this out to a couple of my groups, and here's how I see people using it. I'd love to hear how people use it, but they're trying to, my guys at the Lexus store are trying to figure out where they need to price cars at, and this just gives them an idea. It's like, okay, the cars currently, and I'm selling these cars for 32 grand. Wow, looks like it back in March they were at 34 grand. 32 grand might be the case, but if I want to get ahead of it or see what, you're buying them for 26.5 or 27,000 at the sale. This tool will help you, give a little peek into what possibly could happen based off of that March 1st number. I think it's pretty good.
And then scroll down to the bottom, like of the different segments.
Oops, sorry. And this is really neat.
Yeah, so this will look by brand, by segment, and by class. So if you click on change in the brand, it'll actually resort them from low to high or high to low. So click it one more time so we can go high to low. So smart cars, obviously Tesla we just talked about, Volvo, Genesis, Jaguar. You can see what each brand where their prices have gone. So if you're a Honda person or a Toyota person, you can look specifically at your Toyota inventory, or if you're a group and you have 10 different stores, you can slice and dice this data any way you want. And remember, we'll give it to you at a national level, but then we'll also give it to you as a regional level, so you can look at it and make some decisions. So what can we do with this now inside of our system? So this is something that it's not going to be inside of FirstLook Max right now. This is a link that we'll send you that you can go into and look at whenever you'd like. But what we are going to do is we're going to have market alerts inside of appraising and pricing. These are ready to go live today. If this is something that you want to take advantage of, just please let us know. You can email us or raise your hand inside the question box here and tell us to turn it on for you. But basically what we're looking at here is when you're appraising or pricing a car, based upon that analysis in that report that we just looked at, in this case, this 2018 Jeep Wrangler, in this particular person's market has only changed 2.1%. So even at the mild, a 12% drop that a lot of people are anticipating, this car could still have almost a $3,400 decline in value by the time it bottoms out. So that would be severe, the red, if you will. If you go to the next slide, why don't you explain this one?
Yeah. So again, we'll continue to monitor this, and as if you use our system a lot, we like the red, yellow, green. The yellow market alert will indicate some change, some significant change has been realized from that March 1st goalpost till today. In this case, for the V60 wagon, we saw a 7.5% drop since March 1st.
So it's almost halfway through.
Yeah. So based on no matter right. So wherever however you think it's going to fall. Listen, if you're a Volvo dealer and you got a good feel for Volvos, okay, great. Maybe this is it. Or there could be more if you're a non-franchise dealer. So I really like these alerts a lot. The couple of guys that I've walked them through this exact way you and I are doing this, say, Patrick, they've really gotten excited about how this can not only help them price cars, but maybe even help close some trades. Or I think there's other ways that we might be able to use this data going forward. Yeah,
100%. We've turned this on for a lot of people. Go to the next one. So that's the red, yellow, and green would be, in this particular case, this Audi Q7. It's gone down, 6. I can't read that. Tim, my eyes are going. Is that 16 or 18?
Oh yeah. So this would be right. The Audi Q7, the market price adjust 18.6. So we feel like that's it's bottomed out. I don't use a popular term. It's the curve has been flattened here on this one. So yeah. We'll green it out for you.
So with this, like I said, this is an opt-in versus an opt-out. We had a lot of debate on it. We've had some customers say turn it on. We've had some customers say that they don't want it on. Personally, I think having another tool for your toolbox is something great to have.
Yep.
Data is king, right?
Totally.
In God we trust. In God we trust. All others bring data, right? So that's what we're trying to do for you guys, is bring the data that we have to help you guys make informed decisions during this time, and then build upon this as we move along.
Okay.
So Tim,
hey,
why don't we
a couple of housekeeping things. I do see inside the question box, guys are asking us to turn it on for them. No problem. Nick, we got you. Steve, we got you. Okay. And Kim is asking about the report. You want to show the good folks on TV here the report? Okay. So there's a couple of ways that you can access this information. Okay. Give me a second. If you go to the Max Digital website, maxdigital.com/perfectstorm, okay, you can access a PDF version of the program that we just put you through, okay, all the way down here at the bottom, okay. See the full report. It'll pop you up a downloadable PDF. You can share it with your friends, your boss, whatever. I also have this available as a handout in today's webinar. If you're live on stage.
Actually, we took that out, Tim.
Oh, okay, no problem.
As we started, I told you real-time enhancements, right? From the time we started this webinar till right now, Kim, our senior vice president of marketing, actually made some updates that she just came across.
Okay.
So go ahead and can you download that full report just so the folks can see what it looks like? So like Tim said, it'll open up into a PDF, and then from here you can print it out, share it with your team. If you're a platform manager or a dealer principal or GM, share this. If they're not on this call right now, share this with your managers. If you're a manager and you run the sales team, share this with your sales team. Let them know what's out there, and let them know what people like Max Digital and the likes are saying. It's a great job that our marketing team, Kim and Peg, did with some help from us field folks. So bravo to you guys. And like we said, we're going to keep We're going to keep doing this every Tuesday and Thursday. What's the deal? Featuring Pat and Tim. We're going to talk about a lot of different subjects. If you have anything in particular that you'd like us to cover during this time, please reach out. Our contact info is on the screen right there. Also, the link to what we just looked at, maxdigital.com, perfect storm. Or if you want anything turned on to turn on those pricing alerts, you can simply just email helpdesk@maxdigital and they'll turn it on for you. Tim, it looks like you want to say something.
No, I'm good. We got lots of requests in here to have it turned on, which is exactly what we were trying to do. I'll make sure there's no.
Any other questions?
Yep. How do you get the sortable? Yep, we'll take. Perfect. Yep. We'll scroll down. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of questions in here. I think we covered most of them. We'll get everybody that asked to have it turned on. We'll do that today. So next time you log in, throughout the day, you'll see those alerts on there. And if you have any questions, Tim and I are very accessible. Reach out to us, but we have some great folks back on our product support help desk team that are all, up to speed on this stuff as well. So we're all here to help, guys and gals. So give us a call whenever, reach out to us. And I don't know what we're doing next Tuesday, Tim, but it'll be something fun.
We'll figure something out. All right, everybody have a good weekend. Sell them all. You can buy more.
Thanks, guys.